Good morning. During the next few days we will turn our boat into an igloo. Right now it is very windy. Whoa. It is very gusty and very windy and it is snowing, and that is what we need to cover the boat with snow for more insulation. We need more insulation on the boat and I will show you why. But first we're gonna get some food for the doggy. Arctic kibble and there's some cod skin and so on in here. Now let's go inside and see why we need a little bit more insulation here. Wow, ootko valmis sun ruoalle? The biggest reason that we need insulation is actually not the main cabin here. Here we are fairly comfortable. You know, we are now sleeping here in the main cabin and yeah, it's a little bit messy like always, but we are pretty good here. So the biggest reason becomes apparent once we go further forward. We have separated the forward part of the boat with this canvas flap here. It actually works really well. It's much colder once you get further forward. And this is our food storage, which has now become a freezer. Check this out. Oh yeah. This is all. It's literally a freezer. There is no light from outside in here because also the hatch is frozen, despite it being professionally insulated with bubble wrap. It is frozen. When the temperature fluctuates in here, then that makes all the veggies like really mushy and so on. So when we insulate the boat, that's gonna like regulate the temperature and keep it more steady. We are trying to avoid putting stuff underneath the bed because it's hard to reach it. So here we can just grab it, whatever we need. It's kind of our pantry for now. How convinced are you about this plan?
Not convinced at all.
On a scale from 1 to 10?
Maybe 2. But well, at least we get a good exercise here.
So there's water on top of the ice here now and the snow is very wet. The plan is, or at least was, to make make a big pile here and then move it onto the side of the boat. But I don't know. We kind of thought that it would be more efficient than trying to get snow from ashore, but well, we will see. This will be a multi-day process, I think. You can see how water came on top of the ice. We are going to need to wait for this here to freeze anyway. Ei, no vaan ei, älä syö sitä, ei. It might not look like much, but it's actually a couple hours of work here already. The problem is that there's just so little snow on top of the ice here, and it's so hard to get ashore with this tidal zone being like that. Even though there's not much snow on the ice, there is enough to bury our shorelines, which are in danger of getting completely frozen in. So one of the things that also keeps us busy is keeping the lines clear of ice. Every few days we walk along the lines and lift them up so that they don't get stuck and freeze inside the ice. Even then, the section of line close to the shore will inevitably get stuck because of the continuous tidal movement of the ice. Although at this point our boat is very much frozen in, a few hundred meters in front of us there is a spot with strong currents which stays open throughout the winter. Okay, everything here is frozen again. Time to get to work. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this part of the boat because this is obviously the main cabin, and so that's where we get the best return on our investment when it comes to this insulation. I'm just gonna use these blocks first and then, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Gathering snow was a painfully slow process that I'm not sure anyone is ready to watch in full detail, and congratulations if you made it even this far in the video. I think I'm actually gonna move onto the other side of the boat just to see if it's better or faster over there. And over there we didn't do any preparation, so there's no blocks ready, but there is some snow on the ground next to the boat, so we'll see. It is maybe time for us to employ our secret weapon hidden here inside the mainsail. It is a pulk. So I'm gonna see if we can find some snow drifts here on the ice, or if we have to go ashore. Crazy dog. Then we also got hit by another warm storm, which pretty much halted the progress completely. Just for clarification, this is not the storm yet, even though it is pretty windy right now. There is a few things that we have to do to prepare. So you see here how the boat is now floating free, because it has been so warm and windy that we are actually not stuck in the ice anymore. We have a little bit of space between the ice and the boat, and with the gusts the boat keeps bumping against the ice on one side or the other, and that is kind of annoying because it makes a lot of noise inside the boat. When the boat gathers some speed and bumps into the ice, you hear like thump inside the boat, and that's annoying. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna winch these lines tight and pull the boat against the ice as tight as possible so that it cannot move so much. There are a couple other things that we need to do as well before the night when the actual storm hits us. There's supposed to be winds with gusts up to hurricane force, so it's gonna be a lot of wind. This is just the beginning here. Our igloo, our snow wall here, is kind of disappearing just because the boat is moving so much and also because of the melting. It's really warm here. When a big low pressure like this comes in, it's usually like a warm front, and so it's actually not cold, it's just freaking windy. Okay, that's one down. Here's the bow line that I'm going to tighten. I've let it back to the beach. Windy as fuck.
Aika jännä yö varmaan tulossa.
Ulvotaan vähän, ulvotaan. Au! 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 So it is this one that I'm a little bit worried about. You see how it's a little bit wobbly because it's only secured by friction. We really need this H cap because if we don't have this and if it's gusty winds, then the stove won't stay burning. Alright guys, it is done. Give it a couple of taps. That's not gonna go anywhere. Would be a beautiful evening out if it wasn't for this freaking wind. Mikä siellä on jännää? Oh, she's a bit scared. It's so loud here when the gust comes in. Okay, the real wind is here. I have to hide here behind the mast because otherwise it's just too windy. You wouldn't be able to hear anything. But it's going good. Like, it's just the furlers, these head sail furlers, but the aluminum profiles are just making so much noise. This loud pitched whistling kind of gets on your nerves. But yeah, the boat is good, the ice is not moving. We're gonna have a few more hours of this and then it should start dying down very early in the morning. You can see the open water between the boat and the ice, so this is like the small pool of water that we are moving in. Okay, the storm is over. and we are going to spend the next few days skiing. Release the hounds. Hyvä, no mennään. Joo. She doesn't like the wet slush there.
No älä siitä.
Joo, tuu vaan, hyvä.
Hyvä, hyvä, no vaan hyvä.
So we're gonna have to dig our skis out. Whee! So nice. We got to enjoy the wintry temperatures for some days, and the whole fjord froze completely and the ice around the boat grew to around half a meter thick. Because of the relatively warm current coming up the west coast of Greenland, the open ocean in this area rarely freezes, and in this shot you can see the open water in the horizon. Eventually we did get a good amount of snow piled up against the boat, and it really does make a difference in the temperatures inside. And I would love to end the video on this note, but it would be unrealistic not to mention that soon we would once again get hit by extremely warm weather. This was now the 4th time this winter, and this time the warm winds blew for 3 days straight, and even the night temperatures were around +7 degrees Celsius, which is something that we were absolutely not expecting. The local families that we are in contact with also told us that they had not seen something like this in their lifetimes. Although short, warmer periods are normal close to the coast, this was just really extreme. This was filmed in January and February, the coldest time of the year, when a more normal temperature might be around -15 or -20 Celsius. Anyway, the winter would eventually make a comeback, but more about that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video interesting, then go and check out my other videos in this Overwintering in Greenland series. The link to the playlist should soon become visible on your screen, and it is also down below in the video description. If you want to support the creation of these videos financially, then you can do so on Patreon. Patrons get access to early releases and ad-free videos. Patrons always get access to the next video around a week or 2 early, and they also get access to a private WhatsApp chat group, and so on and so forth. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.